So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of time management, and I kind of thought what better game to commentate over than Stardew Valley. This whole game has to do with time management, and just kind of felt like it was fitting, so yeah. Anyways, first off, I just want to talk about why time management is so important. And last week we spent quite a bit of time talking about media addiction and healthy gaming habits and that sort of topic. And with that comes time management. See, the thing is that even if you're not feeling addicted or overwhelmed by a video game, the truth is that you still can be quote unquote wasting your time. First of all, I don't like that term. I don't like saying that you're wasting your time with something if it's something that you're enjoying. What I mean more here is if gaming is taking priority over other things. And time management is where that comes in. And for me, I would argue that I've gotten pretty good at time management. If you guys don't know, obviously I work on this channel. I have a social life. I am in school full time, and then I also work outside of YouTube. So that's quite a bit of stuff to pack into my day. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I do it and what I'm going to suggest to you to work on those time management skills. So number one is that, once again, I mentioned this last week, but I want to dive into it a little bit more, is that I always make a to-do list first thing in the morning. And on this list has all sorts of different things that I know that I need to get done either that day or maybe that week or that weekend, whatever it may be. Essentially, they are important tasks that have to get done. And that's one of the ways that I manage my time in general. So for example, I'm going to read out some of the things that were on the list today. So I had to meal prep for work. I also had to record a couple of videos with Noah, including the podcast. I also needed to research podcast topics. And then I also needed to edit. And then I also needed to record life advice. I needed to record also background footage for Fox movie. So that's just a handful of things that were on there. I had some other stuff on there too, like dishes and stuff like that. But the point is that I make that list every single day. And by making that list is that I am able to start essentially creating a foundation of the things that need to get done and the things that I want to get done. And for me, that is usually enough. And the thing is for a lot of people, that isn't enough. And that is super fair. And what I would then suggest is to make sure that you just kind of set a limit on your day. And I mentioned this a little bit last week, but kind of check in with yourself. How are you doing mentally, and sort of like, am I still enjoying what I'm playing? And this is a strat that a lot of people use. Am I still enjoying what I'm doing, right? And the reason why this is so important is that if you are not actually doing something engaging or fun, and you're just using it to waste your time away, maybe we need to look for something else that you could be doing at that moment to not feel that way. Something that could be more productive or overall just more stimulating towards your brain. Right? That's just one of the major ways that I would do it. I would also just look at what you're doing with your time. And one thing that I do is that I make sure to limit how much time I'm spending on social media. And the reason for this is that I talked about it a little bit in one of the recent videos where I talked about the concept of doom scrolling. And the thing is that I have been a victim of doom scrolling. I bet everybody watching this video has been a victim of some sort to doom scrolling. But the important thing is that as long as you can recognize that you have that issue, you can stop that issue. And that's super important when it comes to time management. See, if you're simply swiping all day and you're not getting shit done, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. You're not going to have the best of time. And overall, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a challenge, right? And just for me is I just kind of like stop myself from scrolling on these apps, you know, whether if it's YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. I don't like to spend too much time on them. It's not because I think that they're necessarily a waste of time. It's just I'm telling myself that I could be doing something productive, right? I could be making this content for those apps. In my case, for your case, it might be studying, it might be cleaning, it might just be spending time with friends or family. No matter what it is, I think that's a great thing. Because the thing is that no matter what that thing is that we're doing, it's detrimental to our health if we're doing it with all of our time. And that was sort of the thing that I talked about last week with media addiction. Is that, of course, it's totally normal to spend plenty of time playing video games or spending time on yourself. But the issue is when it becomes that's all what you want to do and that's all what you're looking for. That's not what we were built for, right? And at that point, you need to sit back, take a step back from that thing that you're enjoying and build a plan, right? Because the thing is that if your brain just does one task, it's just doing the one thing that it loves, maybe, or the one thing that it hates, or you fixate on something, you're going to hate it. You're going to hate yourself and you're going to hate your life. It's as simple as that. And ironically enough, games like Stardew and Animal Crossing have genuinely helped me with my time management. These games and how they're designed and how to play them is not as simple as just A to B, right? The thing is that these games are built around the fact that you only have so much time in a day. And with that time in a day, you need to figure out how to spend that to be most efficient. What do I want to focus on today? And in this video in particular, I'm doing a lot of mining, right? Because I needed some materials. But the point is that can translate to real life as well. You don't need to spend so much time dwelling on the small things or things that some people may not even notice, but then spend so much time just ignoring the issues and not spending time on things that you may need just because they're a need and they're not so fun sometimes. That's where time management comes in, is recognizing that is important, in that, being able to recognize that you need those time management skills to succeed, right? Especially if you've worked a job, it's super important to have those different skills so that you're able to get tasks done in a time that's acceptable, and also not just wasting time. Because there's only so much time in our life and so much time in a day that it's so important to try to maximize that. And I'm not talking in the sense of where you should min-max your life and not waste your time on your phone, because I don't like that ideology. We all need rest and we all need breaks, but I do think that it is important to understand how time management works and how to build those skills so that you're able to do tasks for a longer period of time, and also just learn how to take control of tasks that you may not be a fan of, or they may not be your favorite thing, but that they're still super important when it comes to building who you are as a person.